What holds society together? In a lot of cases, it's our waterways. Our waterways were our first interstate system. They still are really important. They connect everyone.
My heart is just always at the river. You feel the spirit of your ancestors here. It's like a part of you being and about who you are.
In Virginia, there's a lot of agricultural pollution, polluting the waterways, getting into the Chesapeake Bay.
Agriculture is the largest land use in Chesapeake Bay, and so it's also still our largest pollution source. Some people think that's automatically a bad thing, but it's lots of opportunity.
How can we create a system that uses everything that you put into it? As we continue to grow as a global civilization, we have to start producing food in a different way.
Controlled environment agriculture is a solution. Traditional agriculture is going to require about 20 gallons of water to grow 1 head of lettuce. We're going to use about less than a gallon.
You can produce plants and you produce fish at the same time.
Today, you guys are going to help us finish planting this out. And how many of y'all like tomatoes? Farming and figuring the future out is going to require a spirit of adaptability and experimentation.
A person once said that agriculture is not the planting of crops. Agriculture is really about the cultivation of the human spirit.
Production funding for Life in the Heartland was provided by the Chrisman Family Foundation and by
I was born April the 5th, 1931. I fished for 72 years. My wife kept on after me. You stop fishing. You're too old to go out there. The technique for the boat was cut the knees out of the tree limbs. I come out of the tree. I built with 6 boats, I think. Yeah, I'll tell you, when I moved back here in '66, I told everybody, I said, this is my last move. Next one will be behind the church. Well, we was 5 in here, 6 in here when I first started with them. Since I've been in here, they've added 2, 4, 6, 8. I'll tell you, the hatchery started back long time ago. Have y'all talked to John Henry? He ran that hatchery for quite a while.
That was a sturgeon we caught in the shad net. That was in my younger days. Didn't have a hatchery like they got today. They had a box with screen wire around it. We didn't have no motor, so we had to row the boat, and that wasn't easy, pulling that old heavy boat. You take one female shad that's spawning, and you squeeze it in a bucket, and you get a male shad that's spawning, and then you stir it.
We started a system, and we pump river water in. You know, gravity feeds all the tanks, and the water flow keeps the eggs rolling on a soft roll.
We used to have 12, 14, 15 guys fishing. See, and they bring eggs in, but see, you ain't got but 2 guys fishing now. 3 years ago was the last time I fished. I thought I would miss it, but really I don't. I just let the work go and everything go.
The shad season starts about the second week in March. It's cut down because the numbers aren't there that they used to be. We used to go out and catch 100 on a tide. Now you're lucky if you catch, 5 or 6.
The last 4 years, we've had very little shad, and we haven't had the hatchery open for 2 years now.
Whole lot less fish now.
Yeah.
Whole lot less.
We started getting moss growing on the bottom of the river. And there never used to be moss.
With climate change, you can see that the types of fish coming in Chesapeake Bay are changing, and the rate at which they're coming into Chesapeake Bay is changing. A lot of those headwater areas, there's changes in temperature in those streams happening. There's changes in the algal community. We've actually seen some of our waterways like the Shenandoah River actually be closed to recreation over the last few years.
We're starting to see impacts from the globe getting warmer because of CO2 emissions, ocean acidification, rising sea levels. These are all things that have a ripple effect.
I make potteries. The clay is from the banks of the Pamunkey River. I can tell it's Pamunkey clay because I'll see just a little hint of glitter in there. The river has changed so much. I have a picture of my great Uncle Paul down there getting clay right at the edge of the riverbank. Now, you can only get to that spot when the tide is super, super low.
I believe that nature will, if you give it time, it'll heal itself. And we can help with that. There's a concept of biomimicry, right? Where you're taking these concepts, how does a bird fly so efficiently, and applying that to airplanes. Understanding and observing nature in its natural setting.
It's all about pattern recognition, using nature as a model, and then designing systems from that.
Having an indoor enclosed system, you can capture any sort of runoff that might be occurring, potentially reuse that. A lot of times you say aquaponics to someone and someone says, oh, hydroponics, I know exactly what you're talking about. And it's like, hang on, it's a little bit different. Aquaculture is the raising of aquatic species, fish, plants, invertebrates. Hydroponics is soilless plant production. And then aquaponics is the combination of aquaculture and hydroponics.
Swim Shady is quite frequently baptizing us as we come in and out. Welcomes everyone to Healthy Harvest Fresh as they come in the door.
This is an aquaponics production facility, a recirculating system that combines plant and fish production into a food production system.
These are our 6 larger tanks that house our adult fish.
Our production space is about the equivalent of a 1/4 acre. Traditional agriculture production, you would turn about maybe 8,000 heads of lettuce in a year. We're gonna turn about 180,000 heads of lettuce in a year.
Come on into to the greenhouse. This is our aquaponics system. We just harvested catfish, and today I anticipate tilapias, little tilapias going in. You can look at the size of that tank. It's quite small. When we optimize it, we'll be able to harvest 200 pounds of fish out.
Our fish actually provide the nutrient content for the plants.
The dirty water pumps through here into clay media.
The solid is in the form of ammonia. The bacteria work upon that ammonia, break it to a nitrite, and then to a nitrate. That is a form that the plants can absorb. The plants take that nitrate out of the water, and then the water is returned cleaned back to the fish.
You can buy an organic fish fertilizer and apply that to your field crops, and we're pretty much doing that, but just in a controlled system.
We truly have a ministry here. We are feeding the masses. Blue tilapia would have been the fish that Jesus served at the Sermon on the Mount. The fishes in the loaf story.
Hello, babies.
I just feel like it's a real connection to a greater mission. We can work and serve the masses here. There's a beauty in a local food system, period. Regardless if it is in an urban area or if it's in a rural area.
The more small farms, medium-sized farms you can have, the more resilient of a system you have. Having these educational opportunities for K through 12 undergrad graduates, that has to be a part of the equation too. If the communities don't have access to it, if your everyday person doesn't have access to it, then what good is that doing?
We're at my favorite place on the planet, Waynesboro Education Farm. We grow organic mixed vegetables and other curriculum-ready plants. The last year we raised 10,000 pounds of food. 60% of that is donated to River City Bread Basket. This year's goal is 13,000 pounds on a third of tilled acre. We've got 2 lines of hot sauce, and these are all hot peppers grown and raised here by students. I grew up here. I met my best friend on that court when I was 8 years old in 1987. I have a distinct memory of playing up here and actually not liking it, because if you lose a ball, it goes. Putting a fence up here and a farm ended up being a really nice solution. You know, we're talking 6 and 7-year-olds and go like this and it's just magic, it stops. And I'm like, what do you think's gonna happen if I face the sun again? They get so excited. We are a outdoor learning lab, we're a classroom. Our main goal is not food production, it's to integrate the pre-K through 12 curriculum into the farm setting. When I say cool, y'all say cool. Cool? Cool. All right. Today, we're gonna talk about ecosystems in the greenhouse. Who can tell me, hands up please, what an ecosystem is? I'm always looking for ways to make SOLs, our Virginia standards, come alive for students.
So an ecosystem is where non-living and living things like interact to kind of make a society and a community.
Make community work? I like that answer a lot. Y'all, we're gonna talk about a specific interaction ecosystem. It's called interdependence. The aquaponics that we're gonna go in here and work with, I like to call that a deconstructed ecosystem. We're gonna be able to see what is interacting with what. You guys wanna go in and check it out right now?
Yeah.
Follow me, come on in.
Aquaponics is such a beautiful medium for education on so many levels. I mean, it is the absolute true ground for STEM education. It's science, it's math, it's engineering, it's plumbing, it's construction, it's bacteriology, microbiology, it's chemistry. It brings all of those concepts to life.
Go ahead and stand right here for now, facing me shoulder to shoulder. And we got some tomatoes to try. Everybody can take one. This one's called white cherry. Miss Brenneman, you want one?
Sure.
What grows in water?
Algae.
Yes, that's a good answer. What else? This way. We can do it around this one. Well, go ahead and just, there. Nice, right?
Okay, I didn't.
Just like that. Nope, you're good. All right, Iris, now shake it. Let's get those roots. And let's see those roots.
You bring relevance for students who may otherwise not get it.
Yes. Yes. All right. I know y'all love strawberries.
100%. Good job. Good job. I know I got dirt in my nails. I did that for y'all. You're welcome.
We always end with a chant. And the chant is, whose farm is this? And they say, yeah. Peace out, y'all. I'll see y'all
Grab your jackets, girls.
soon. A deconstructed ecosystem like we have here, the aquaponics, it's not really a closed loop system like folks say. I'm still agnostic in terms of whether it is truly sustainable. For now, we feed fish, food that we buy. And to me, that's the vulnerability in the system.
As old as the process of aquaponics is, it's still relatively new in commercial operation.
We're still finding kind of our footing in terms of what's profitable, what's not. It's just been such a slow process to kind of get things to where they need to be here with the program. Sustainability is a funny term because you can be sustainable in terms of resource efficiencies and conservation, but then from an economic sustainability perspective too. You can be as sustainable as possible. If you're not going to make money doing it, then no one's going to adopt it, right? And it's never going to have those grand impacts that it could have.
I told you gonna have to filter the expletive.
You got your beads?
Yeah, they're over here somewhere.
Okay. So this is our 5th anniversary of the Diamonds in Denim Gala. And we are still working to tweak it each year and perfect it and get it right where we want it to be, kind of making it fit who we are.
I think everything is in good shape. Yeah, I mean, making sure everything is all whatever, but nobody's gonna know if it's not done except us.
Some of our produce and our tilapia will be served this evening, so we're pretty excited about that.
I saw the beautiful lettuce they had here. We're using the Buttercrisp. It's gorgeous lettuce that they have.
Is it apple or pear?
Did you taste it?
No, I haven't tasted it yet. I want an oyster.
Oh, I love her.
Tammy Cole is our Director of Operations for Healthy Harvest Fresh. This is the team of Healthy Harvest. We work long hours and we work hard because the 5 of us up here today are the full-time staff. We were serving over 11,000 individuals last year, our last fiscal year, and in the last quarter, that number has jumped. We are serving actually 3,000 more individuals and 1,000 more families right now. When the SNAP benefits were affected with the USDA cuts and everything, that had a big impact. I was born and raised here in the Northern Neck. I've witnessed this cycle of generational poverty where these kids get stuck and they can't find a way out. Children depend on us for weekend meals a lot of times because the only time they get healthy food is when they're at school. We were in a food desert. We were not being properly served in this area. I got a text message that said, look up aquaponics. And I just knew. I knew the rule of thumb around here is if I get goosebumps and chills, we're on to something. The reason behind that was to try and help these kids.
Humans are part of the ecosystem. The large human sector rely on other living systems, like a farm, for food, for fun, for medicine, and for culture.
We're all intertwined, you know, as far as the land, the people. The river's changing its course all the time. I am sad about the loss of that shad population. And I would like to think that there'd be a way that could be brought back.
Each year we look for a better year, so we're looking for a better year this year than we had last year. And we just hope it will pan out for us.
There's the love for the river. It gives and it takes. Life changes, doesn't it? Environment changes, and you have to roll with the flow sometime on it.
Water quality was probably the best around the time of first contact when there were 50 to 100,000 Native Americans in the watershed. We had very vibrant oyster reefs. We had very vibrant maritime forest. Now we have 17 million people and growing in the watershed. We have a tremendous amount of impervious surface. We, as the residents of the Chesapeake Bay ecosystem, can have profound impacts, both good and bad, on the ecosystem. We're basically right at the mouth of the Lynnhaven River. So if I was to look straight ahead, I'd actually be looking like out on the Atlantic Ocean. Back in 2001, 2004 timeframe, 97 to 98% of this river was closed to oyster harvest. It was all the development around the shoreline. You couldn't pull oysters out directly and eat them. So when it comes to habitat restoration, and we talked about how important oysters are, this is a kind of the start of it all. A way that we like to engage, especially waterfront property owners, but the community at large, is to run a program called oyster gardening. Using a pretty low-tech cage like this that can be hung from a dock or for a boat slip, folks can actually grow those oysters up off the bottom, because the higher up in the water column the oysters are, the faster they're going to grow. Now about 50% of the river is actually open to oyster harvest. And so the oyster industry here in Lynn Haven has grown tremendously over the last 10 to 15 years. We've actually seen oyster aquaculture companies pop up as a result of that. Protecting water quality provides a lot of benefits, both economically and ecologically for the Commonwealth. We're seeing improvements in water quality, and we're also seeing that sense of community build around that. This is a good example of how we can, as citizens, actually have a profound impact.
Cash, if you want to power up the AR sandbox on your way to that would be okay.
We have culturally important fisheries, blue crabs and oysters and striped bass that people love to be part of. They have these shared experiences that give them a tie to the land in some way, shape, or form. I think in a lot of ways it's those shared experiences that hold people together and allow them to find common ground.
Hamilton, are you straight? You know where you guys are at down there? You good?
I'm here. Today is very special because it's a taste of Randolph Farm, so we'll get a chance to showcase quite a bit of the great things that we do.
I need muscles to like lift up all the whiteboards and stuff. I'm coming with you.
Hey Curtis, can you put this in the greenhouse? Appreciate it. There's going to be lots of different samples of food produced at the farm. We've got 3 different fish, lamb, a couple other vegetable products too.
I didn't think you were gonna make it. It's so good to see you. Our job is to take the science-based work that happens at the university and use that to help solve the problems of the community.
You want a community that supports it, that understands it, and that eventually could probably bring ideas to the table that you might not have in your little corner.
How we doing? Good. Okay, excuse me, Billy. When I got here, we kind of looked at the farm kind of in different pieces, you know, like just different sections. And I've worked really hard the last 4 years on like trying to get us to look at the farm like as a whole, being able to take the waste and be able to recycle it in our own composting facility and be able to integrate some of our programs together. This is a working farm, is what I try to tell folks. When people come, they see the animals and stuff like, oh my gosh, look at the animals. And I'm like, that's food.
I've got lamb raised here on the farm. Try and win some people over. Need more lamb, especially locally raised Virginia lamb.
On the menu today, we have a pineapple coleslaw paired with trout as well as catfish fried, deep fried. We raise it, we produce it, and then we fix it, and you bring it to the table.
Excellent. You got to know where your product comes from. So you got to know how to process, how to work it, how to cut it up, how to gut it, whatever you want to do. But you got to know where it came from.
We have some striped bass here and some channel catfish.
Hello, how are you? You can't get to health or nutrition or even just community viability without talking about where our food comes from.
And this garden is Floral Pea, flower therapy.
These local networks, these local ties, this local way to get food, this local way to get fish, you know, we want everybody to know that there are these options there. Agriculture really is, you know, the embodiment of everything that we do in life. So it's all of the parts of STEM. It is the original STEM.
Okay, I think the fish are full now. Thank you, boys.
They will keep eating.
Okay, good.
We can feed some other tanks too if you want to keep feeding.
You know, an aquaponics system can be done on any scale.
Wow.
Giving these kids the opportunity to learn to be self-sustaining.
Being successful at no matter what scale is messy, and it is not a straight line. If we fall in love with aquaponics, we can scale this up. It's the fractal patterning. It's how you build resilience, one piece at a time.
I still get goosebumps and chills every time I walk into that greenhouse. This was where I was meant to be, because I am living a life of purpose here, where I was born and raised, helping people that I know need me. And I think we've only just brushed the surface of what this facility can do.
Production funding for Life in the Heartland was provided by the Chrisman Family Foundation and by
Babbling brook reminds us flowing holy. Plow the earth and plant and weed. Watch your children grow. Day breaks into nightfall. Soon we're reaping all we've sown. And who knows? Is it you? Is it me? Is there room in our hearts for this whole land? Is there room?